Hi, good day. Welcome back to my channel, and this is again a Censoration vlog. And today we're gonna talk about the most controversial and hottest and heated issue in the Philippines. And this is a case of the death of Christine Angelica Dacera. Okay, it's not about the storming of the Capitol in the United States or Washington D.C. by, according to fake news media, Trump supporters, but I think it's actually being infiltrated. It was infiltrated by some outsiders like Antifa and BLM. But before we're going to talk about that issue, we're going to talk about this local issue in the Philippines that's becoming so intense and polarizing. Okay, it's really not political, but we can see that there's a lot of things that we need to learn from this issue, the death of this she's really beautiful lady whose name is Christine Angelica Dacera. So let me just remind you that this is going to be a live rambling or rant, so it's not scripted, so I'm not bound by any script whatsoever, but I'm just going to tell you my objective, honest opinion. So on the day the first breaking news broke on social media. So I remember that was, I think, 9 p.m. and that breaking news was this one. Let me just show you. So I was actually searching what exactly did I watch. So it was this news coming from JMA 7. So this was posted on January 4th from 24 Horas. So this is the primetime news program of GMA 7. When I watched this video on YouTube, so it was posted on Twitter, and then I watched the video on YouTube, and I was telling myself this is going to be one of the hottest, if not the most controversial issues in the Philippines this year. Okay, the first quarter of the year. So okay, let me just show you what I saw and what this breaking news shows.
January 1 ng tanghali, natagpo ang walang malay sa bathtub ng inupakan niyang kwarto sa isang hotel sa Makati ang 23 anyos na flight attendant na si Christine Dacera. Isinugod siya sa pagamutan pero idineklara ring dead on arrival. Ang inisyal na findings ng sanhi ng pagkamatay ng biktima, ruptured aortic aneurysm o pagputok ng pangunahing ugat.
Okay, so the basic information that we got from the media is that she died of a ruptured aortic aneurysm and that her mother was like seeking justice. Her mother was really sure that her daughter was killed and raped by some men. That's the initial news story that we got. And if we're going to check on the unfolding news today, a lot of people have changed their hearts and minds because of the rush to judgment that the media and the police or PNP did a few days ago, or on the very first day of this news story. So definitely it's a combination of media malpractice. That's the thing that we learn from these issues. So what I notice is the mother of the victim, if quote unquote the victim. Definitely, we understand that the police, report presented Dacera as a victim of rape slay victim, as most of, if not all of, the media stories we've had over the past 2 days, told us that this lady, this woman, is a rape victim or rape slave victim. Now, well, definitely we understand that the mother is really so frustrated. She is seeking justice. We understand that she probably knew in her heart that her daughter, was raped and killed, and she could not accept that. If you're gonna watch the interview, she really believes that her daughter was raped. Probably based on the facts, not really facts, but the information given to her by the police that did not do their damn job in trying to make sure that they gather all evidence, forensic evidence, to make sure that they have all the information before the embalming of the victim's body. Now, according to forensic experts, the body was already embalmed. So it's very hard for them to gather more forensic evidence, DNA evidence, saliva, swab tests, etc. So there is malpractice here, the incompetence of our police, the PNP, coupled with the malpractice or incompetence of the media in rushing to judgment. Okay? And because they rushed to judgment, because they did all this without gathering all the evidence necessary to come up with a solid fact-based data. Now the public over the past few days have been howling for the death, okay, for the heads of these suspected individuals, 11 of them, okay, and if not, according to the police and the media themselves, that these 11 suspects are all gay individuals, homosexual individuals. All right, so let's listen to the mother, because this actually what got me, that okay, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. I really feel for the mother, I felt for the mother, I sympathize with her, but we need more evidence, we need facts, we need proof that these 11 individuals are guilty beyond reasonable doubt, because that very moment we lacked evidence. The next day they showed the pictures. I saw the pictures of these men, 11 suspected men, and then I told myself they all look gay. They all look gay, bisexual. They don't look like they're straight. I have gaydar. My gaydar was really, really working. It was working the very moment I saw the pictures. After seeing the pictures of these 11 suspected individuals, I told myself, wait a minute, there's something wrong, there's something off. And then I was right. All of them, some or if not most or all of them, are gay, admittedly gay individuals. Member of the third sex, member of the homosexual community. Okay, now, compared to this statement by, okay, you definitely would agree with me that if you're gonna watch the very first interview of the mother, that you're gonna sympathize with the mother, that you believe that her daughter, her baby, was raped and killed by these 11 or some of these 11 individuals. So let's listen.
Attendant. Oh, sabi ko sino. So, yun, pinakita niya sa akin yung mga flight attendant. So, in short, since I really trust my daughter, so as ko, basta enjoy ka
So she trusted, or she trusts her daughter. Material statement that this is a mother who really believes that her daughter is pure, innocent, who is not outgoing, not into boys, etc. All men, all women, and mothers have this self-created, self-confessed beliefs. Okay, if that's the best term, they have this some kind of make-believe notion that their daughter is not gonna do it. Their daughter is not a bad girl. I'm not implying that the daughter is really a bad girl, but as you can see based on the photo and footages that we've seen online, that she's into drinking, etc. But based on my reading of her Instagram post and TikTok, that she's really outgoing, a very ambitious woman, and she's really pretty. And if you're straight and real straight man, you definitely fall in love with her.
So, wala akong any presumption na something will happen to my daughter. Because, syempre, sabi ko, nag-usap pa kami kanina till 35 in the morning. In short, hindi ko alam pa anong gawin ko because physically, I'm not with my daughter.
11 katao ang nakasama
And
umano
what
ni
I like about the interview with Dacera's mother is that she prayed that the same faith is not going to happen to anyone's daughters or sister. And yes, that's a grieving mother who deserves respect, who deserves sympathy. But in today's world, if we are to be objective, we need evidence. Okay, we cannot just go with the believe all women mantra by American white liberals or the Westerners or the Western white liberals who have this believe all women mantra. Of course, we believe all women as long as they are supported by evidence, as long as we have proof that they're actually victims of anything, fraud, rape, injustice, killing, etc. So, and we believe all individual being supported by proof and evidence. Okay, but according to the facts of the case, there are a lot of things that we still need to know. And if you can remember what happened over the past few days, there was a social media outrage. Everything that you're gonna see on social media, on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, if you're gonna see posts about Dacera's death and so-called um, rape slay case, you're gonna see a lot of angry people wanting the heads of these 11 suspected individuals who turned out to be gay, who turned out to be homosexual. Okay, a lot of people would like to reinstate the death penalty and make these people accountable and killed via probably hanging or lethal injection or whatever type of legal killing that we should adopt in order to make these people pay for their alleged crime. Okay, raping and killing a young woman who definitely would have a lot of things ahead of her if she were alive today, if she were not killed, quote unquote. We don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. But what we know is the incompetence of the police, the PNP, the rush to judgment that they made. Okay, you can see this on the interview with this police officer in this video. Okay, so let me just show you the police officer here. This is the very first police officer I think the media interviewed after this
friends
case
of friends,
blew up.
something like that. No? And I think most, if not all, are gays also, or bi.
See, he said it himself.
And then they had a party starting mga 10 or 11:30. It continues until the following morning. Based doon sa nakita ng show ko natin, doon sa scene, meron mga bote ng whiskey, vodka, so various alcohol.
Sa 11 iniugnay sa kaso, isa ang itinuturing ngayong primary suspect ng Makati Police.
Meron supposedly nagsasabi na parang merong
So it's all based on hearsay. Parang merong nilagay sa
nilagay sa drinks. Pero hindi natin ma-ascertain pa kasi sinabi lang. Yun ang,
Okay.
yun ang
The thing about this is that this should not have been divulged to the media yet without solid proof. Okay, we cannot blame the media because all they need to do is simply make sure that they're gonna come up with a sensational issue based on its statements made by the police, right? By the cops. Okay, they're simply quoting this police officer. So basically, there's some kind of media malpractice in terms of making the issue sensational, rape, slay, etc. Okay, but the very source of this information or misinformation is the police, the PNP. Okay, the lack of evidence, the lack of preparation and training that caused this or made this issue to be a tragedy. The main tragedy here is not just the death of a young lady, but the fact that the police were so inept and incompetent in doing their job in making sure that they gather all the evidence before turning her over to the embalming people, okay, for embalming purposes, okay, because once the body of the victim had been embalmed, then it's very hard for forensic experts to gather more evidence for swab tests, for DNA, etc. And that's according to experts themselves. So if we're gonna check, so according to this um, very popular forensic expert in the Philippines, Fortune, it's too late already. It's too late to swab test or swab flight attendant Christine Dacera. Okay, because the body, the scene of the crime is not just the drinking area where they had this drinking session, etc., or the hotel room, but most importantly, specifically, the body of Kristen Dacera. That's the main scene of the crime. However, according to the media, according to experts, the body had been involved, which means that the scene of the crime had been breached. Okay, we don't know if there are forensic techniques that we can do or experts can do in order to gather more objective evidence, DNA, swab, anything, body fluids, according to this expert, that she might do some kind of eye fluid extraction as an option, but it would need examination from abroad because we rely on the technology and machineries or technologies from the first world nation. They have all these forensic machines, technologies, and techniques in order to come up with objective fact in trying to establish the guilt of some people or the innocence of these 11 individuals. So facts are on the side of these 11 suspects. Okay, all they need is, well, I think, the circumstance or the tragedy is in favor of the suspects because of the destruction of the main body of evidence, which is the body of the victim, the corpse. Okay, they can no longer conduct objective and thorough swab testing or DNA evidence because the body was already embalmed, you know. And that's the reason why when I read this story from Rappler, okay, what we know so far about the death of Christian Dacera. So when I read it, so let me just read to you the lead. Flight attendant Christine Angelica Dacera has become a symbol for many things for different people. The writer said, the power of misogyny, the rot of in the injustice system, the incompetence of the police. What the heck? That's probably your own opinion, the opinion of the writer, but she's right about the incompetence of the police. How about the media malpractice? The netizens rush to judgment. Okay, what power of misogyny are you talking about? What power of misogyny? We're gonna get there about the gender of the so-called suspects. Okay, and one thing that I notice is that, okay, like I said, the mother has all the rights to evidence. She is the victim here, one of the victims. Apart from the daughter, the mother is also a victim. Okay, she's entitled to due process. She's entitled to seeking justice, and we all know that she already called on President Duterte to help her out, in finding justice. Okay, and what I can tell you is that all I can see is a mother who's desperate to make sure that justice is served. But in doing so, she's wanting to see suspects. She's wanting to see criminals incarcerated. But the thing is, what if that is not supported by evidence? Okay? And she would like to prove that her daughter is a pure and innocent woman. That's how I read it. Okay? That's my objective and brutally honest analysis. Okay? That the mother really sees her daughter as pure and innocent. In Tagalog, hindi makabasag pinggan. That's probably how she sees her daughter. Of course, mothers have that faith in their children, in their daughters, especially, most especially their daughters. Okay, and but the thing is, in trying to seek justice, we should understand that we should not perpetuate injustice as well. Okay, injustice by trying to rush to judgment and incarcerating and jailing innocent people. That's the reason why death penalty is not advisable, is not recommended if we have this not just flawed justice system, but also incompetent authorities who are unable to do their job. Okay, they only had one job. The police only had one job. Okay, to make sure that they're gonna preserve the integrity of the crime scene. Okay, training is what they need. Training is what they need. Okay, they already knew that or suspected that the victim might be a victim of rape. Slay rape, as they say. They already have this kind of notion. And if they're smart enough, by looking at the crime scene at the very first instance of getting into that room, they should already have this idea: is this, a homicide case, or could be a suicide or some kind of accident. But despite that, they should have known that they should preserve the integrity of the crime scene, the evidence, which is the body of the victim. No embalming, etc. They should gather other experts, coordinate with other experts, especially those in the private sector, so that they have all this body of, I keep saying evidence, okay? Evidence, evidence, evidence. Body of facts, okay? The DNA, swab, fluid in the victim's private parts, okay? To establish if she was indeed a victim of rape, okay? If there's some kind of trace of semen. But according to the police, okay, the PNP doctor, or police doctor, that there was no semen found in the victim's vagina or private part. But then, what about the clothes of the victim? What about the bottles, the drink, etc., that they used that night or at the wee hours of January 1st? Okay, there are a lot of things that they can do. They should have cordoned the area. Okay, I'm not a SOCO expert, but common sense. They should have cordoned the area until they have all the right men and people to do the right job, proper job, to pull it off. Okay, so that before those PNP officers spoke to the media, they should have everything. Okay, without telling the media or the public any exaggeration or any uncertain things that could place these suspects in a very uncertain situation or bad situation. Like right now, we know that a lot of people regretted bashing these 11 individuals. These suspects deserve due process. They deserve the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. Now take note that before someone can be convicted of any criminal offense, that there must be guilt beyond reasonable doubt, because you cannot just incarcerate and get rid of someone else's right and freedom without guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Okay, that's the most important thing. Now, as to the gender of the suspects, the police were saying that, okay, kahit bakla ka pag nakainom ka, even if you're gay, but if you're drunk, okay, or intoxicated, you can still do, something bad that any, straight man can do, like raping a woman. Is that possible? Okay, that's the reason why I did not rush to judgment. Okay, I simply posted this on my Twitter. I posted this upon learning about the issue that regarding Christina Angelica Dacera case, don't rush to judgment. I said this on my Twitter account. 11 people involved are just suspects who deserve the right to be presumed innocent, and due process. Wait for forensic evidence and autopsy. Don't blame victim. Let due process and justice prevail. All we see on SOCMED are hearsay. Hearsay coming from the police, and of course, the incompetence and ineptitude of the police. I'm not generally blaming the police, but all those people who did the job without doing the right, thing to make sure that they have all the evidence. Okay, now experts are saying, okay, they've already destroyed the body of evidence, which is the body of the victim, by embalming her. Now, the family of the victim called for second autopsy, and according to what we see online, we already have an available second autopsy, but okay, the details are confidential. Why is it confidential now? Is it because it's gonna expose the incompetence, unpreparedness of the police? Probably. Okay, but that's what they should have done in the first place, right? They should have done that in the first place. I watched an interview of the victims, and definitely, like, my gator tells me that these are members of the third sex or the LGBT community. I'm gonna get there after this. So, all right. According to this news report that came in a few hours ago, just a few hours ago, we already have the second autopsy, but they're keeping it confidential. We don't know why. Probably upon request of the police or the family of the victim. So basically, this news story is in the title itself, without giving us any detail, because it's confidential according to these news reports. And here's what we have here. Police continue to stick with the angle of Dacera being raped the night she died. So they're sticking to the angle, to the statement they made to the public that Dacera was killed, and before she was killed, she was raped. Now, we don't know what's in the evidence or in the second autopsy, but according to report or checking made by the PNP doctor himself, there was no semen, no signs of rape. Okay, but then we don't know how the police came up with all this story that the lady was raped, and now they're sticking to their story that the Sarah was raped, and that even though these 11 men are all homosexual, flaming homosexual, or gay, they could still rape if they're intoxicated, which is bullshit. All right, bullshit. Okay, I don't know, but there might be degree of attraction to women by gay people, because there are categories within the gay community. There are bottoms, tops, and bisexuals, and there are also trans. So if the degree of your attraction to women, if you're bisexual, for example, if you're kind of, I don't know if you have that kind of self-analysis, like really laser accurate self-analysis that, hey, I'm actually bisexual, I might be gay, but I'm bisexual, and that I'm attracted to women 80% of the time. I don't know if you have that kind of test, but the truth is, if gay people becomes intoxicated, they become Darna. And according to gay people, now proud gay people online, okay, if they become intoxicated, they start singing Regina Velasquez song. And I have gay cousins as well. One gay cousin, and when he gets intoxicated, he starts singing Mariah Carey's song. Okay, they become Miss Universe. They feel that they're so beautiful. Nararampa na sila. They're gonna have their own beauty pageant. That's what's gonna happen if you're gonna intoxicate or you get gay people drunk. So please spare this bullshit coming from the PNP that even if you're gay, you can still rape. Yes, of course, you can still rape, but probably, most likely, men. You're gonna touch men, but definitely, I can probably say 90% sure that if you're flaming gay, you've been into men for the rest of your life. Okay? You don't even want to touch a woman. Okay? You don't even want to kiss your in the lips your girlfriend, okay? Your, you know, girlfriend, not the erotic girlfriend, but the platonic girlfriend that you have. You don't even want to kiss any woman, okay? What if if you get drunk or intoxicated? The more you become a flaming homosexual when you get drunk. So to close this live rant, it's getting too long already. I really pray. I may be an atheist, but I pray for justice. Okay, justice for both the family and the Sarah family, and the Sarah, Kristen Dacera herself. Let's call her victim. She might be a victim of homicide. We don't know yet. Let's just wait for more evidence and let rule of law play a role in resolving this issue instead of bashing both sides. Okay, and in the case of the police, they should train in terms of gathering forensic evidence and treating a scene of the crime properly, especially the body of any victim. And this is what we have today, and this is again Uncensored Asian vlog, and have a good one to all of you.